beginning, God created the sky and the earth. The earth was empty and had no form. Darkness covered the ocean, and God's Spirit was moving over the water. Then God said, should we say this part together? This is like kind of a good line. Then God said, let there be light. And there was light. God saw that the light was good. So God divided the light from the darkness. God named the light day and the darkness night. Evening passed and morning came. This was the first day.
Was anybody here last month on Holy Play? Do you remember Holy Play? We talked about the word Yahweh. Remember that? And we did an activity together, a breathing activity. And we were all the lungs, because if you remember, the name Yahweh reminds us of breath. It's the only word that we can say that can invoke breathing like this, remember? If you remember, do it with me. We'll raise our arms up. We'll go, oh. Let's do it one more time. Okay, ready? We could just do that maybe every Sunday. Well, we've been talking about the names, the words that we use to name God. And Yahweh is one of those words. And today, in our story, we heard another one of those words. That word was, did anybody hear it? It was something that was hovering over the waters in the very beginning. Darkness was hovering over the waters, moving in the darkness and in the water and across the earth. Starts with a spirit. What do you think of when you hear the word spirit? Like a ghost, but in a different kind of way. I know what you mean about that, yeah. What else do we think of when we hear the word spirit? For anybody in the room. Nature and the leaves. Oh. That's beautiful. I know what you mean by that too. Yeah.
Of the wind, when I think of nature and leaves, the wind, something that we feel all the time, but maybe we don't see it with our eyes.
Yeah. We can see it moving the leaves around, maybe the trees. Well, what's really cool about the word spirit is, well, the Bible was originally written, like our story for today, was originally written in a different language. The language our story was written in was Hebrew. And the word for spirit in Hebrew is ruach. Can anybody say that with me? Ruach. Ruach. And it means spirit, but in the Bible, they also use it in Hebrew for two other things at least. And do you want to know what one of those things is? Wind. Wind is one, and another one is breath. Breath. Can we all do the Yahweh prayer? Yeah, I feel like sometimes when we do that Yahweh prayer, I can feel spirit, ruach, moving through me. Kind of like how we can feel the wind and see evidence of the wind, even though kind of when you look up in the sky, you don't, and you know it's windy up there, but maybe sometimes you can see the clouds just like racing across. Well, so spirit is a name for God, but spirit is also breath and wind. I wonder what it would be like if we imagine God as breath. what would it be like if we prayed to breath, or we called God breath? What would that feel like?
It's a real name.
It's a real name. A weird name. Yeah, maybe. It's a lot. Go
I
ahead.
mean, like when we breathe, we're praying. Like we're praying all the time.
Oh, yeah. Breathing. When I breathe like we pray, when we pray Yahweh, the Yahweh name, I feel calming. If God is breath, God is a calming presence. God helps me feel kind of quiet on the inside. If we imagined God as breath. What if we imagined God as wind?
Wind can be really strong and like really powerful.
Yeah.
I love a windstorm.
God can be powerful sometimes. You know how we acted out God as breath? Can we act out wind? How would we do that?
Stirs up a lot of stuff, huh?
I wonder what other places or what other ways we experience God, or we experience His Spirit in our lives.
Well, I told you all my silly one that I really stand by. And every time I open a beautiful red pomegranate, I say, wow, there's Spirit.
Their Spirit.
And I spend time with every little, well, most of them. Sometimes I get a little impatient and I have to like really force it. But Spirit teaches me to slow down and just enjoy every little pomegranate seed. What about you all? Where do you see Spirit, or feel Spirit, or taste Spirit?
Jenny said inspiration, that feeling when an idea comes, that almost feels like it came from somewhere else. Feels like an epiphany. Our final Sunday Epiphany season. Beautiful. Other places?
In other people sometimes.
In other people.
Sometimes I feel Spirit when Allie and Doug and Micah work together to make a beautiful song for us. I think Spirit's around here. And Lonnie, of course.
Walking through the forest and greeting Spirit. And the creek, the water, winding its way through the forest. The communication of words and thoughts. Music, you said? Yeah, between people, beings. Well, all of these things, it might feel a little weird, but all of these things, I think, can be names for God. We might pray, "Dear juicy pomegranate." Kind of silly,
But it's real.
but there is God right there. And so, I'm curious, if you could give God a name, what would it be? Caramel. Caramel.
Sweet. Could you tell us what names you have on your star? They might be.
You might be sitting on them.
Spirit is everywhere. So.
We might have to look sometimes for
I'm
Spirit.
sitting on Jesus.
Jesus. Matt was sitting on Jesus.
Who else?
I have Yeshua.
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 Yes. That is how we say Jesus' name in his home language of Aramaic. Yes.
What about Jesus?
Jesus. Yeah. Sophia. We talked about Sophia, wisdom. Yes.
And I have God,
God.
Creator.
Creator. Ruach.
Liberator.
Liberator.
Spirit.
Spirit.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Carry. Carry.
Caring.
When I was little, I learned to pray to Diosito. Dios is God in Spanish, and Ito means little, but it's like my little God that I take everywhere. Diosito.
I have a friend who prays to Mama God. Dear Mama God. And the Bible talks about a hen that gathers God's people close and keeps them warm like little chicks. Mama God. Well, we have an activity today and it's connected to these stars that some of us have. Today we're going to make an art project together on our final day of our Epiphany season when we've been exploring these names for God. We are going to make a constellation. And each of us, if we choose, can make a star. And on each star, or maybe you want to make a meteor, or maybe you want to make a planet, or some other space creation. You can write a name or a phrase or draw a picture on this star of a name that you might give to God. Name the names that we want to express that connect us most deeply to the divine.